Alright, so we have the second battle report happening today. We have the Axis assaulting into 2 Bravo with the Allies defending. The two companies that we have for this is on the Axis side we have the Wolf's Head Company, which is similar to the previous battle group, Panther Heavy, against a British company, Sabre Company, as I've called them, defending quite a lot of open ground, a lot of farm field with a few buildings spread far between. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
All right, we are back with the second engagement of this campaign. So here you can see the terrain that we're doing. And first we're going to go into our formations before we go into our deployment here. So for me, I'm running a British battle group this time with 2 formations, my infantry, my armored. So over here I've got my commando troop headquarters with 2 commando sections with their attachment of Frost 6-pounder anti-tank section. Then over here we have the Sherman armored headquarters with a platoon of Fireflies, a platoon of Comets, a 2x, 1x Cromwell and Firefly platoon, and then a platoon of archers, essentially glass cannons. Alright, so I'm running 125 points here. Let's go over, look at Max's formation.
So we have an SS Panzer Grenadier platoon here with their HQ here as well, with grills as an attachment. And then for this formation, led by our Panther Late HQ, we have a group of Tigers, but I forgot to print one out, so we're working with the Panzer IV as a replacement, but we do have one real one. And then we have a group of SS Panthers as well as another Panther Late. But this will be probably near the end of my Panther deployment for the campaign.
Oh, you still have the 8 survivors from the previous engagement too. So for this, we're going with the Rearguard deployment rule set for the most part. So I've got up to 16 inches out from my deployment zone, whereas Max has
8 inches.
8 inches.
And I'm also running 125 points too. Because these guys are brigade, it costs a lot less for them.
Yeah.
So.
Alright. And then, so I've got 16 inches, Max is 8 inches. I also have 1 unit that I'll be holding in ambush for this as well. And yeah, the unit that I believe I will be holding in ambush will be the archers. Alright, deployment phase is complete. So right there is where I have my intel that I need to defend. Got my 6-pounders in that wheat field, Cromwells, Comets, infantry platoon right here. Over here Max has his Panzer Grenadiers with his grills and headquarters, his intel objective, his Tiger section, and then Panthers. Alright. On to German turn 1. Alright, German turn 1.
So this one Panther was able to see it, that one, and got it bailed out. These 2 Panthers as well as these 2 here fired into the infantry and got 1 of them. These 3 here fired over into there and got 1 tank gone. And then if we move over to here, these Tigers, now they would have to roll double 6s in order to get it. Surprisingly, all my luck was used here and got 1 of the Cromwells. And then these guys, they cross-trekked and were able to move over to here. This guy deployed the HQ unit out, and these guys moved up, but they weren't able to do anything other than that. So that's it for my turn. So I did get lucky with taking out 2 tanks and bailing 1, but that was pretty much it for the first round.
Alright, on to the British turn 1. Alright, so my headquarters surviving tank shot the smoke over there, or shot a smoke screen. These Fireflies blitzed, shot into the Panther platoon. We're only able to bail 1 because Max's dice rolls are bullshit right now. I moved 1 commando section into this building right here, so I've got the intel guarded These guys stayed put and fired into the Tigers. They got no hits. The Cromwell and Firefly went ahead and moved, shot into the Tigers, still no effects. The Comets over here, though, successfully got a flank shot on the Tigers and got one of them. And then over here, I pushed up one of the other commando platoons and started engaging Max's infantry. Got a hit, but he saved. So, moving on to German turn number 2. One.
So these guys failed the blitz, but they still just moved up slightly. These two squads were successfully blitzed, and they all moved up and then fired into. Well, these 4 fired into there, took out 2 of the Fireflies and bailed the other one. These 3 fired into there and took out 1 squad or 2, I forget.
It took out 1.
1. And then he fired into there, didn't get any hits. He fired, he missed, but 4 Panzerfaust shot in. Double bailed 1, but it successfully made its motivation, so it stayed in, but bailed 2 successfully. And they fired into there, got a few hits, but none of them were successful in killing, so that's where that's at.
Alright, on the British turn 2. Alright, so for my turn, I got the headquarters Sherman back in. They were able to get a successful smoke screen up again. Only one of them, though. Firefly blitzed forward a little bit, so he's still within the cover of the smoke. Fired into the Panthers. Only got 1 bailed, even though he needed to roll a 6, and rolled a frickin' 6. Piat in here, shot into that Panther, no effects. 6 Pounders, shot into the Tiger, no effects. Firefly right here, shot at the grill, missed it. And 3 Comets and the Cromwell fired their MGs into infantry that shot their Panzerfaust at them. They got 2 of them. And then this infantry platoon over here fired into Max's infantry platoon. We got 1 more guy. So I was able to take out some of his infantry at least. And just 1 bail on his Panthers. Alright, on to German turn number 3. That's German turn 3.
So they moved up a bit more, with the smoke screen still there, and then these guys, none of them could hit until these 2 fired in, and then finally killed him. He's fired into there, got 2 hits, but none of them, and they both saved. So then he fired into here, killed that last Cromwell. So now that Sherman or Firefly back there has to start making saves. These guys ranged in, artillery there. They got 2 successful hits, but the top armor was successful there. These guys fired into here and took out another infantry.
Alright,
That was it.
on to British turn 3. Alright, so for British turn 3, they failed to fire their smoke screen, so they're probably going to die here in a minute. Then infantry here shot their Piat into the Panther, got a hit, but no effects. They shot at the Tiger, all missed. Then the Comets shot at the Tiger, no effects. The Comet shot into the infantry, and no hits. But I did take out 2 more of his squad, so that infantry platoon is going to have to start making morale checks now, and they're pinned down. So yeah, moving on to German turn number 4. Alright, German turn 4.
So these guys shot in, absolutely obliterated that one, but they couldn't see the other one, so that one's sitting in between 2 of his dead buddies. These guys moved up, but they couldn't see anything else, but these 5 all shot into the house, but they failed their blitz, so they had their moving rate of fire, and they almost got one, but just didn't. The Tiger shot in and got one of these guys, and then the artillery ranged in here, didn't get any hits, and then they all shot into there and didn't get a single one.
A lot of saves, a lot of 6s that don't show up when I'm trying to shoot shit. Alright, on to British turn 4. Alright, so British turn number 4. So, I ambushed finally with my archer platoon and took out 2 Panthers and got a third one bailed. So it wasn't as great as I was hoping for, but still pretty good. And then I shoot and scooted them back. Piot fired and he missed. 6 Pounders fired, and once again, or actually no, this time they got the Tiger bailed.
Well, they hit, but they weren't the ones that bailed it.
Oh yeah, so they hit, nothing happened, but Comets fired, got the Tiger bailed out. The infantry got 7 hits and managed to pin down that section right there, but Max got all saves. So, yeah. Moving on to German turn number 5. Alright, so German turn 5.
So my guys blitzed over, or not blitzed, but they dashed over, and so now I was sitting there. They unsuccessfully blitzed, these guys successfully blitzed. None of them were able to hit at all, so that's scary. He didn't make his remount, but he's still in the fight because he didn't make his last stand save. They artillered into there, none of them hit. They panzerfaust into this guy, got him bailed out, and they fired into there and got nothing. So pretty bad turn for me.
Alright, so moving on to British turn number 5. Alright, so British turn number 5. So, didn't move the archers at all. I had them fire in sections. So we missed the that section right there, but we were able to get that Panther bailed. I used that infantry for the assault, and we were able to get the last Panther, or not the last, but that Panther right there. So now he's going to have to do 2 motivations, A, to get him back in, and B, to see if he just runs away or not. I was also able to get rid of the Tiger this time, thanks to the 6 Pounders getting some lucky dice rolls finally. Comets then redirected their fire over to the grill. They missed. My headquarters section fired on Max's. Got all 6 hits, but he got all 6 saves. I was able to bail out the half track over here and kill 1 more infantry squad over here. So, moving on to German turn number 6. Alright, so German turn 6.
Alright, so these guys blitzed up and got all 6 shots into there, and these guys this guy fired in as well. All the archers are now gone. These 2 fired then into here, didn't get anything. My artillery finally took out one of these tanks here. These guys stayed pinned, but he got back in, and no infantry's gone, and they didn't get any more Panzerfaust into the pinned down guy here, but yeah, but right side's not taken care of, but this side is struggling.
On a British turn number 6. Alright, so British turn 6. Went ahead, pushed the infantry up to try and get a side shot on the Panther. They missed. However, the 6 Pounders over here were able to get it bailed back out, fortunately. Unfortunately, they weren't able to kill it. But over here, 2 surviving Comets took their shots into one of the grills that they could see, and they knocked it out. Was able to take out one of the infantry squads and keep him pinned down. And then I was able to finish wiping out that one dude from the other infantry platoon. Oh, and I rebuild out the half track again. So, on to German turn numero 7. Alright, so German turn 7.
These guys moved up. They tried shooting, didn't get any hits. These 3 fired all their MGs, got 1 infantry. Girls ran away, or the last girl ran away. He didn't make it back in. He shot his Panzerfaust but missed, so left side's about to actually go away. But yeah.
All right, moving on to British turn 7. All right, so British turn number 7. So I retreated the infantry that was outside back into the building. 6 pound, the front 6 pounder here took his shots at that Panther, missed. And then over here, we were able to force the half track to retreat, and we butchered the very last headquarters infantry squad for one of Max's 2 formations of this group. So now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Panthers versus 2 commando sections, a 6-pounder anti-tank section, and 2 comets. Moving on to German turn number 8. All right, so German turn 7.
These guys firing in there.
Or was this 8?
This is 8.
German turn 8.
These guys firing in here took out 1, so now they have to make last stands. These 3, these 2 moved up. They weren't able to make their blitz, but they wanted to be within 16. These 3 fired in though, and they got 1 more squad.
All right, that's British turn number 8. Let's see if I can. Well, I acquired the intel finally. I was over there. Let's see if I can get my guys over here in time. All right, British turn number 8. What is it? My AT gun was able to successfully make his last stand check. Took a shot at that Panther, but missed. Those comets moved up and then did a shoot and scoot after firing into that Panther, the tan one, but unfortunately just missed. And then I'm starting to push up the infantry from the forest now. See if I can get over there in time. On to German turn number 9. German turn 9.
5 of the Panthers fired into the house, 2 more went. 1 of the Panthers fired at the cannon over the 6-pounder and missed both shots, so he's still up. But now the infantry in the house and the 6-pounder have to make last stands.
Yeah. After this turn, depending on how it goes, I might end up doing another retreat here. Because now I've acquired the intel and I still have a hold of mine. So we'll see how this goes on the British turn number 9. All right, so British turn 9. Moved the 6-pounder up so we could have a chance of penetrating that armor and failed. Infantry's just holding out in the house right now. The infantry platoon is trying to catch up with the headquarters and tail behind the comets. The comets fired. Were able to effectively destroy 1 of the Panthers. So we have hope. Moving on to German turn 10. Alright, so Max is elected to pull back his surviving
4
Panthers. Yeah, surviving 4 Panthers left on the board.
And then these are the guys that made it out earlier in the match. So
So-
an extra Panther, a half track, and a grill.
Yep, so just like in last battle report, the survivors of the battle will be shown at the end of the video. So that ends with an Allied British victory for the second battle report. Next time we will be fighting on the previous board you guys saw us fighting on. So until next time, catch you guys later.
Alrighty, so the battle for Zone 2 Bravo has ended in an Allied victory, thanks to my determined commandos, in my opinion, ultimately, when it came down to it, and my comets for being able to land some shots. But ultimately, I feel like the reason why the British won the day was the archer platoon that ultimately ended up in the graveyard. But since last time, We added two new handouts or two new tabs essentially. That's keeping track of our surviving reserves on top of the casualty list tab, keeping track of who's dead. So here you can go ahead and see the survivors from Fury Company and Sabre Company from the Allies, and from Purifier Company and Wolf's Head Company from the Axis. So the two units that were in this engagement were Sabre Company versus Wolf's Head Company. So I was able to take out a lot more of Max's Panthers this time, but he also did take out a good portion of my armor that has higher anti-tank rating or anti-tank ratings and everything. And I did take a few more infantry casualties this time. I almost lost an entire platoon. But ultimately, we'll be moving back up to Zone 1 for next for our next engagement. So we'll go ahead and update the map here. And until next time, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. And we'll see you in the next battle report.